Welcome to the 2020 Doe Mountain Sasquatch Challenge Hard Enduro, and get ready for the greatest hole shot you'll ever see. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Here's my buddy's perspective. So I went, and then nobody else went, so I got confused, and then I went. Anyway, this is C-class, so don't expect much. So this is about 5 seconds in, so I'm leading the pack, like natural. And I end up getting caught on this route right here to go down. So just let everybody by me. I do not deserve to be in front. So everybody gets by, and then I get caught on the route again. If this isn't an indication on how my day went, then nothing will be. Now that route's caught in between my front tire and my skid plate, so I'm struggle busting. But anyway, get through some single track, get to this first hill here, and this looks like absolutely nothing on camera. This was one of the most insane hills I've ever had to climb. Like, it was loose, super rutted. At this point, I had cut out probably an hour worth of footage. It took probably an hour just to get up to this spot, and it was so tough. People were turning around and leaving. Me and my buddy Seth, this is his camera here, we helped people for about probably another hour, and we'll get a clip here in a bit just showing that there's like four or five of us that were having to push and pull each other's bikes up to the top of this hill.
Right there.
Yeah, and it was just insane, so just enjoy watching me struggle bus here. About flip my bike on myself a couple times. So this is my perspective of that clip that you just watched, about launching on myself.
Jesus Christ.
This is the clip of, you can just see, I mean, there's 4 people, we were all struggling. But here I'm stuck in a rut, just barely get it out, and then end up launching into a tree. So at this point, we're probably about 2 hours in, and this is the top of the first big hill. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Alright.
So I'll finally get out of there.
2.5 hours in?
Yeah, about 2.5 hours in. Hit the first checkpoint, which is awesome. Just some single track in between that and what we just did. I gotta thank this guy. I don't know who you are, I didn't catch your name, but I thank him here.
Hey, thanks for your help back there, buddy.
Definitely would not have been able to get through that without him and those guys helping us. So, finally getting some nice single track. This was cool because it was covered pretty well. It was really, really tight. But it was probably fresh. It was probably in the last year or so that they cut this, because there were a bunch of stems that you're rolling over. So anybody without bibs, I'm sure they punctured a lot of tires on this kind of stuff. But this was some of the best single track I've ever seen. I ever got a chance to ride on. It was just awesome, and the conditions were great. There's a little rock garden area that we had to go through, and of course the GoPro, all the Go Flat. Doesn't get any justice. There's some steep sections, and it's a little wet at this point. So, again, I'm a sea rider, guys, so cut me some slack. So finally get through up into this rock garden. At this point, it's about 3 hours in, and the race is only supposed to be 3.5 hours. So we finally get to this point. There's me about launching my bike into some people. I'm trying to walk down this little hill and get some whiskey throttle. Should have just done what Seth does here, just pop it up and roll it over. And this is the end of their little enduro cross section. Not really enduro cross, just a couple of logs. So we get through this. So at this point, like I said, it's about 3 hours in, and the race is only supposed to be 3.5 hours. But my buddy and I were like, well, let's just try to finish a lap, even if it doesn't count. You know, even if it takes us 4 hours. And I'll explain here in a bit that absolutely not go to plan. This hill was near vertical, and of course it doesn't look anything in the GoPro, but that was like, you couldn't even walk down that. And that was actually kind of a point of no return for us, because we didn't want to turn around and have to go back down that. So, and this whole hill is this whole hill is like clay covered, super steep.
That's what I planned on doing, but it didn't work out.
This is a clip of me just basically just crawling up it. I mean, just hitting high RPMs, and that's all you could do at that point was to get up this hill. Just try to weight the rear and give her hell.
There you go. Well, shit.
And then this clip was a few feet after I got up that hill. You get to this hill. So I hit this hill. Me and Seth hit it 2 or 3 times apiece. Eventually we both get up it. It's just so slick. You can't even stand on it. It's so steep. We spent about another probably 40 minutes just in this section alone. Finally get through that. Here's a decent little section that was giving us a little bit of trouble. Again, thanks to these guys for... We ended up all riding somewhat together and helping each other out on sections like this. But this is the final hill of the day for us, not the final hill of the course. At this point, it was about a little over 5 hours in, and I was dead. My buddy was out of water. I was almost out of water. This was a really fun climb, but my body was just absolutely tanked. So after this little switchback right here that I lay it down on, this is pretty much the end of the video. The rest of it is just me sitting there contemplating life choices. At this point, we were told we were 11 hours in, or 11 miles in. Again, a little over 5 hours. And at the top of this hill, the course marshal actually said, "Hey, you guys are done. We're sweeping the trail. Time to go." And I was so glad to hear that, honestly. Usually in most races that I've done, they have a separate C line that bypasses some of the gnarlier stuff. They did not have that for this, so everybody did the same course. I don't think even the AA riders, I think only 3 people did a second lap. And like I said, in the first hill, we watched probably 15 or 20 people turn around and not even try some of the stuff. So insanely hard, but it was an awesome challenge. Again, conditions were dry, so or dry-ish, so it was really tacky. Even for us sea riders, it was not horrible to get traction, but unfortunately, it didn't finish. Just keep practicing, I guess, and we'll try again next year. But I appreciate you guys watching. Again, the rest of this couple minutes or minute or whatever is just me sitting there feeling like I'm gonna die. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you out on the trail.
If you hadn't been there, I'd have been laying just like he was, because you hadn't helped me stand my bike up. And did exactly